Well, hello. It's Tuesday evening. Celia Brown. Mama Z's, Kiss My Grass Acres. Dutch Off-Grid Homesteading. Morris Patch of Heaven Homestead. Atkins Family Homestead. Pomona Ponderosa. Hello, hello. Morris Patch of Heaven Homestead. Kinfolk Farm of Georgia. Celia Brown, are you being good?
Kelly, I don't see a picture.
You know they are seeing
I
you.
can't see. Hi, Celia. She put hi, Katie, so I can't see anything.
So Anthony's in here and Kaylee's in here.
I can't see. It shows up.
We have observers. I'm being photobombed. All right.
We're trying to get the little one to go.
Mama Z's, congratulations on hitting 200 subs. Congratulations.
Anthony, come here.
We got to babysit today, so they're on their way home, and so anyway, so how's everybody doing? I don't know that you need to change your name. Pomona Ponderosa. I'm hoping I'm saying it correctly. Pomona Ponderosa. Is that in reference to your location, perhaps, or is that just a? I don't know if the word. I mean, is that just a name, or is it a word that has some sort of meaning, or? Ravens Nature Family Farm, Morris Patch of Heaven. Endless RVing. First time in our live stream. Well, nice to meet you. Thank you for stopping by. Our Tuesday night shows are loosely based on questions and answers, and some how-to is thrown in, evolved to how you can do different things for your channel, for editing videos, for the channel art, the YouTube channel art, which is what we're going to kind of talk about tonight, was your thumbnails and your banners. And some different sites where you can get pictures to utilize that you don't have to worry about copyright infringements if you do not have the means or the time to maybe go get your own pictures for your art. So reap what you sow. Thank you for stopping in Sampson Farms. I just saw you not too long ago. So anyway, let's just kind of move on here, and what I'm going to bring up here on the screen right now is a website called Pixabay. And Pixabay, excuse me, folks, just for a moment. Anthony, what would you like?
He has something to say to reap what you sow.
The Tigers say, "Go Tigers!"
Go Tigers! Okay.
The Tigers say, "Go Tigers!"
Go Tigers! All right. So Anthony is saying, "Go Tigers," and that's directed at reap what you sow.
Here, Anthony, come on.
And Kiss My Grass Acre says, I used a photo of my shirt for your last video. So anyway, Pixabay.com is a wonderful website where everything you pull off of here is free to use for personal projects or commercial projects. I mean, you could even be doing, you could be creating artwork for corporations and use pictures that you find on Pixabay. And there's some other sites absolutely free of charge. And there's over 1 million pictures on this site. We'll just kind of scroll down through it here just for a moment. Obviously, if I attempted to show you even a section of the site, we could be here for hours and hours and hours. But a lot of full color stuff in addition to images. And the entire site is searchable, but in addition to images, for photos, they also have vector graphics, illustrations, and they also have videos. And with the videos, you can search on here. It's the same thing. They are free of charge. And we'll go through here and kind of pick on a couple of things here. I'm going to, well, let me throw something out here on Samson Farms. Samson Farms, what's your latest video on? What was the subject, the primary subject of your latest video? Well, while he's thinking about what his latest video was, something I'd like for everybody in here to do is pick out the name of the person right before you and check out their channel, and then pick out the person that writes the message right after yours and check out their channel. And if there's any channels in particular that you want to watch all the time, just type them in. So if you want to type in your channel, that's fine. Your chance to advertise your channel, go ahead and type them in. Nathan says the last video he put out was a mail call. So what I'm going to do while you guys are typing in some channel names and stuff, folks you go and watch, or channels you might recommend for folks in here to go see, I'm just going to do a real quick search here on mail and see what I come up with as far as, we're going to go back to images. Now this is kind of interesting. Where they get a telephone for mail, I don't know. So I don't know how some of these search terms work, but I can see that a high percentage of the pictures in here have something to do with envelopes and mail and mailboxes. So let's go a step further. Let's say mailbox. And let's just, I'm looking for something just to jump out at me here. So mailbox. Here we go. And I want something different. I want to do something that I can utilize for a thumbnail here. That's a stretch out of the ordinary, but not a big stretch out of the ordinary. And something people obviously recognize as a mailbox. So I don't know. Let's just, well, for lack of something better. Wait a minute. What do we have down here? That's pretty plain. We'll go one more page here. This is one of the biggest problems that I have with this site, is you can get lost in the weeds here, start to just browse through different things. All right. we're going to go back to the first page here, and I'm going to just grab, I know it's pretty simple, but we're just going to grab this one here, and it's a free download. And I always, because I do all my resizing myself, I just grab, maybe not the largest, but I grab what the default size image is to download. And of course it asks me, because I'm not signed into the site, it asks me if I'm a robot or not, and I say no, I'm not, and download. And I'm going to download it just here, an easy place to find it. So and I'm going to call it mailbox, so I know what it is. I'm just downloading it to the root of my D drive. And a not a mailbox, I'm sorry, a thumbnail for a video is the ideal format for that is a 16:9 resolution format. And that would be an image size of 1280 by 720. So we're going to go and grab this picture that I just downloaded, and I'm going to open it up with Paint.net. Now, Paint.net is a free editing program that is for Windows. If you have a Macintosh, I'm sorry, but if you have a Macintosh, you might use a program called GIMP, G-I-M-P. You could also use that for Windows. My preference is it's the Paint.net, but GIMP also works. Those are both open source programs, totally free, and they work very well. So this is opened up into the photo editing program, and I'm going to go up and I'm going to say resize the image. Now, this particular one, and I didn't plan this, but this particular one is already a 16:9 resolution, which is very close anyway. Let me see here. 720. Yeah, 1080. Is that right? Sometimes I goof myself up. 16:9 resolution, aspect ratio. So it's 1280 by 720. Yeah, that's what I thought I said. And by looking at this is a 1080 by 720. So what I really need for it to be is a 1280 by 720. And I'm going to just see what it looks like if I change it on the fly, which will distort the original image. So I'll say undo the maintain aspect ratio. .1280 by 720. I'll say okay. There we go. And that's pretty deep mailbox. Might be okay for a thumbnail if you wanted it to be, but no, I'm gonna come back to this one because we're gonna do something else different with it. And I can take this program and I can put writing in here if I like. Let me do that here. And what font do I want? We'll just do Cooper, standard black, and that's too big. Okay, mail call. And then I can move this around on here. I can put it down here at the bottom. I can twist it and turn it. And quite frankly, it's a little bit tougher to do in some of the individual editing programs if you're not up to it, if you don't do this all the time. So for the purposes of tonight here, I'm just going to put this here. So mail call. And I want this image to be a 16 by 9. And it's not. It's not wide enough. But I want to do something else with my images. I want to make my images stand out. I want to have some sort of a bright color edge on that image. So I'm going to take this image, which I know is not wide enough. It's the right height. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to say, what is the canvas size? This time I don't want to maintain the aspect ratio. 720 and 1280 is the size. So 1280 by 720, which is my 16 by 9. And we'll say, okay, I've now added a strip down the side over here. And if I want to color that strip, I can pick a color out. Let's go with a bright green. And my paint flood tool. And I now have an image here that is the proper size to upload with a bright color down the side. Now, if I did this with all of my thumbnails, this bright color down the side makes them just jump off the page at you. Now, there's all types of different ways to do this. What I showed you here is just like a sidebar. Some people will do a double sidebar. They'll put a bar on each side. Some people will do just a corner. Maybe I want to do a wide bar in a tiny border. And if that's the case, I can take the image, I can resize it, and with the resize, I want to maintain the aspect ratio, and I'm just going to drop it down to, pick a number. Well, let's do it this way. By percentage, we'll drop it down 10%. Well, that was a lot. Is that what I wanted to do? No, let's go back. Resize by percentage. All right. I'm going to do it this way. We're going to do, if I take 80 pixels off, we'll just make it 1200. And the percentage will be correct. We'll say okay. So I've now shrunk this picture, which you can't tell, but I'll go back and I'll say resize the image. And, oops, I'm sorry, not resize. I want the canvas size on the image. And I want this to be 1280. $720. And I'm going to want the image to be right in the middle of the new canvas size. So now I have this white border, and I want the entire border to have this green. So I've now made it so that this thumbnail can jump right out at you. And if I save this image, it's the proper size to upload. Everything will look good. And it's a very, very quick way to get a little bit more of a fancy thumbnail than what you would maybe find than just taking a frame out of your video or something. So let's go back. I'm going to say don't save. We're going to come back to this same image that I downloaded, but rather than edit it in that program, let's open up my my video editing software. And what I'm opening up here is Power Director. This is version 18. And I'm going to import that picture. Let's see. Mailbox. And we'll throw that down on the line here. Widen it up so it's easier for everybody to see. And now I'm going to bring some text down. And I can see right away that this is not a 16 by 9. It's very easy for me to see that here because it's not filling up the entire screen. I'm hoping everybody can see that. So I can go back to the mailbox here and very quickly within my video editing program, I can crop the image. I can say, okay. And it's now a 16 by 9 ratio. Very quickly. So much easier to do. For the let me come back here because I moved it off center. My fault. Here we go. Now for the verbiage on it, and I just have a the thing I like about most editing programs, when I say most, is I don't care if they're free or if they're paid versions or not, they have the ability to pick up whatever font you have installed on your PC. In this particular case, I have a lot of TrueType fonts installed that I can use for whatever sources I'd like to. I can just scroll down through here and see the different types and sizes and styles.
You're on Power Director, right?
I am on Power Director. But this applies to virtually any editing software that you might have. So let's go with something a little bit fancier. Okay.
You can do this in Filmora, is that correct? Mama Z is asking.
Yes, and we will do it in Filmora here as well. So now that I've picked out a font that I want, and I'm going to say that the size is okay, but I can resize it very easily as well. Now I'm going to, right now it's white because that's what the default color was. But let's change the color. Let's go back and make it, well, to show on the silver background, let's make it a dark color. So let's make it a, maybe a dark purple. Or very dark blue with some purple overtones, I guess we'll say. Now within this program, it's very easy for me to turn the text to make it fit better on the mailbox. If you have any type of problems with getting it lined up the way you want, you can just scroll down in this program. There's a rotational button over here, and I can manually dial it in. take too long. Okay, so 10's too much. Six is too much. What I'm trying to do is just get it roughly lined up with the lines. And that looks pretty darn close right there. Now the other nice thing about this program and most others, I can change the size of that very quickly just by grabbing a corner and dragging it. If I want to make the letters a little fancier, let's put a border on the letters. So that's all right. We can just leave that blue there. I can change the size of the border very quickly. Let's put a shadow on it. And we'll brighten it up. We'll make it an orange shadow. And again, I can control the distance. I can move it clear down here if I want, but we can control the distance. We can control the direction that shadow appears off of that. We can have it against the text and the border, which is what it currently is, or text only, which makes it a lot smaller, or just for the border. And we can also blur it, which makes it much softer, kind of almost a glow behind it. Now, depending upon some other features you can do here, you can go into, you can put in a background, and we can control the color on that as well. So it makes it look like a sticker. But let's not worry about the backdrop. I think this is pretty easy to see. And if I want to add additional verbiage on this, I can just make a new text based upon this same exact colors. That's 4. And this down here, I think I need to increase that just a little because of the 3D effect.
Bandana Grandma says put the flag up.
Okay. We can do that with additional time, but we'd use up the rest of the time here tonight to do that. And
SAMPSON.
Well, I can fix that. I'm just making sure that they're paying attention.
and he just says you have to pee on my name. Just saying.
I need a better mouse. There we go. Okay. So this could be a thumbnail for that. If you wanted the border around it, easy ways to do that in this program as well. And all you have to do then to get this into a thumbnail is take a picture of it, which most all these programs will do. So we'll just make sure that the text is engaged. We'll come in and click the little camera, save it as a snapshot. And snapshots are saved in the directory. We're going to open that with paint.net. We're going to resize the image. Well, I'm not sure what's going on here with my keyboard at the moment. And this is now properly sized to be uploaded as a thumbnail. So we can just save it either as a PNG or a JPEG file and upload it directly. You can also edit this further with some adjustments. We can make it a black and white if you wanted. We'll undo that. You can, there's just tons of other things you can do once you have it to this point. But this is a quick, easy way to go out and grab a picture and make it relevant to the video that you created. If you're in the middle of the night editing the video, you want to get a picture. Dawn Goff, thank you so much for your super chat there. We certainly do appreciate it. But then you can just upload this in the custom area for your uploads on your videos. As you all know, when you upload a video, YouTube will pick out 3 frames from that video, and they'll say, well, you could use this thumbnail, or here's 2 other choices. There's also a 4th choice where you can upload your own. So let's just look at that area just to make sure that we're all on the same page here. So we go into YouTube. And you would go into I'm going to go ahead and show this. So this is the area where you would upload a custom thumbnail. This would be blank. It happened to, this is a thumbnail I uploaded. The reason I went ahead and I pulled this video up, and I hadn't really planned on talking about this tonight, but I'm going to. This video was the first promo I made for our Monday Night Live that we had last night. And the music that I used on this video, somebody else thinks that it belongs to them. I guess that's the best way I could say it. So, for those of you that maybe have not seen this yet, let me show you what that looks like. This video was found to contain copyrighted material. The copyright owner is reviewing, well, I've disputed it, so the copyright owner is reviewing your dispute. Once a dispute is resolved, any revenue earned during that period will be sent to the appropriate party. I uploaded this last Wednesday. I think it was Wednesday. And it immediately came back before I published it, stating that it had copyrighted material. So this is what the notice said. And I'm not going to play this because I don't want it to say that. I don't want them to come back on this live stream here tonight and say, hey, you've got copyright material. I do not believe it should be copyrighted. But what's interesting is this is the exact same name. Beer Me is the name of the song, although the artist is different here than the where I got the music at. So I disputed it. I sent in the information where I obtained the music that I used, and I acknowledged that, geez, the title is the same, but I purchased the rights to use this music. It came with the video editing software that I have, and they tell me I can use it. And here's my license with them. So this was all done last Wednesday. From that point, they have 30 days to recognize the dispute and either agree or disagree with it. If they deny my dispute, well, I can then dispute it again. But at that point, I'm also opening up the door where they could send a takedown notice. And if they do a takedown, well, then YouTube says, okay, you guys couldn't play nice. Well, since you couldn't play nice and you're the content creator, we'll just give you a strike. And this big company that had absolutely nothing to do with writing this song, they're simply representing this song from an artist somewhere else, is happily going along and stealing probably thousands of dollars from small YouTube creators that had absolutely no intention of putting copyright material up there, number one. And number two, from the artists that actually created it, because that poor starving artist is getting such a small percentage.
Do you need a certain number of subs or views in order to have your dispute reviewed?
No, not to do that. If you're disputed, you can, or if you get a copyright claim, you have the right to dispute that copyright claim. Now, YouTube at this point is kind of staying out of it. In other words, they just forward my dispute onto and I'm trying to read exactly what this says. Copyright owners is AdRev. AdRev is the one that did the dispute for a third party on behalf of V-Town Carter Music. So AdRev is the one that did the dispute. AdRev is a representative that has gone out to places like this V-Town Cartel Music and many, many other places and said, hey, we have an inside connection here at YouTube, and we can check and see if anybody's using your stuff that they don't have permission to use. And if we find it, we can get you some money for it. Well, anybody that's monetized knows that for the little channels, there's not a lot of money to be had, because this is the only video that it's affecting. And for this to be, I'm going to use the term substantial money for this one video over time, is going to need hundreds of thousands of views. Hundreds of thousands. And to make it, what I'm going to use the term to make it serious money. You know, maybe it's $10, maybe it's 20, 30, 40. I don't know what is serious money to some people can be not so serious to others. But my point is this: for every dollar that they would collect on this, by the time this filters back through this V-Town Carter Music, Cartel Music or whatever, and then goes back to the actual person that made the recording, they're getting ripped off worse than what the creators are that are putting stuff out on YouTube. It's really insane. So anytime I have a claim, and I do not feel that the claim is valid, I will absolutely dispute it. I would sooner delete this video than give these folks a dime. Now, that's my opinion. And obviously that's not the case with some. And in some cases, you can edit out little bits and pieces of that music, of that instance. In my case, what I did, because I created this entire 3-minute promo video, I just said, fine, I'd throw it back in the editor, took this music track out and put a different one in and uploaded that. Let me close this. And uploaded that. This is the same video. The music's just a fraction shorter. But these two videos are identical except for the music in the background. That's the only difference between the two. This one that I say, hold this vid, is still unlisted. I typically upload all of our videos unlisted. That gives us a chance to go in and correct the thumbnail. That gives us a chance to go in and add tags and add metadata in the description and all the other goodies that we like to do. And then Sherry works her magic and goes out and she promotes the heck out of all of our videos that we do, and does this on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. And where all else do you go?
You did. You did them.
I did them pretty much. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's how we do it. Now I know some people
Mama Z's asking if you ever win.
Yes. Yeah, I have lost twice, and I've said fine, and I just deleted the video and said heck with them. And I don't feel I should have lost on those. But here's what happened. Typically in the wintertime, we'll upload some Christmas music, do a do a 6-hour live stream on Christmas music. So to do that, I will have gotten a lot of Christmas music from, say, YouTube and other places on YouTube. That says the music is absolutely fine to use. But in order to keep it somewhat, so songs don't repeat, and they do because there's only so much you can do in so many hours. But I randomly repeat them, so that part's easy to do. You just put them into a player and randomly mix the songs. But when it comes back in the form of a copyright claim, they will give you the section of time that it's there. So you'll be able to go in and listen to the tune that they're saying belongs to them. But in many cases, especially with Christmas music, there's so many variations that there may be 10 Silent Nights or 12 Hark the Herald Angels Sing or something that we're allowed to use, but then I have to try to identify it. I have to try to identify, did it come from YouTube? Did it come from Audio Hero? Did it come from a different site that said I was allowed to use it? So I have to identify all these things, and I have to include that in the description on my appeal, on my dispute. And without having all those T's and I's crossed and dotted, it's pretty well impossible to win. If I go in and say, the song playing at that time was this song, and I can point it out exactly. I can point out where it was from and show them the rights that were given to me either by the website or by this was made available to me through YouTube Studio in their music section, which has been the case at times, then they'll just deny it unless you can prove what it is. If you can prove what it is, absolutely, especially if it's a YouTube song. Never lost on one of those, but still had to do the dispute, had to go through that terrible hassle. Now, YouTube, if you notice what it says on here, any revenue earned during that period will be sent to the appropriate party. Well, here's the problem with exactly what they're saying right here, and the reason that I don't have this published. YouTube won't promote it. Because it's in dispute, it goes into Never Never Land on the YouTube promotion. And it's just, there's no point in it. I mean, I've seen this before. I've seen it enough that if there is a copyright claim on it and you go in and dispute it like this, unless you're a big, big, big channel, all of a sudden, if you were used to getting, say, 200 views on your video, all of a sudden this one's only getting 20. So what's the point? There's no money there anyway. Now that's just kind of the way that I feel about it. But I have it here because I want this company to know that, number one, I think they screwed up. Number two, it's absolutely ludicrous that they haven't come back by this point in time yet and said, okay, yeah, we agree with you. We made a mistake, whatever. But no, they have 30 days. It was disputed in seconds. Of course, that's all the magic fairies hiding out in the back of YouTube. They didn't even have time to play this 3-minute video, and it was already had a copyright claim against it. So this is all done very, very much under the covers with identifying the ones and the zeros. But enough of that. I did want to show you how that worked. All right, let's making lemonades from lemons. Thank you so much. We absolutely appreciate the super chats. Matter of fact, I got a message that they've changed the super chats now. There's something they can add to them, some little crazy character or something. I saw that just today, and I haven't had a chance to really look it up. But apparently, there's some sort of little emoji things you can do with super chats if y'all want to play with that. I'm just kidding. So hopefully that helps you out here just a little bit. Let's go in and talk just a little bit now about the banner. Happen to have this page up. YouTube gives you a template, and this is for the banner on your YouTube page. And it is, the banner on your YouTube page is broken into 3 different images. When you upload it. And here they are. This is the full size one. This is the big one. So this is the behind the scenes at Hamiltonville Farm. This is their full size banner that they uploaded. And I think they give an excellent example of what they have here. So this big banner, this would be displayed on a TV set. This is the banner you would see typically on a laptop or notebook, and then typically on a handheld device, you would see this part of that banner. Now, if you look very closely at this, you'll see right at this top edge, you'll see some images. I guess not an image, but you'll see remainder of the image left over from here, this white and black, because all it is trimmed out of this area. See, it's the same picture. When you upload your big picture, this is what it is. YouTube makes it into 3 different images. This is all done behind the scenes. And depending upon the device that's coming in to look at their YouTube page, that is what is dependent upon what image is served up for them to see. And this is the template. So if you look at this big one, which is a 16:9 format, that's what you would see on a TV set. And then the other ones, the Desktop Max, and then the mobile, which is the center, the text and the safe area logo is done here. So if you look at, just for example, on our channel, and I especially made this banner to show here at night on this show how it transitions from a bigger picture into the smaller pictures, and how you can utilize totally different pictures and still have them show up decently no matter what the device is. So if we look at this picture, and let me do this. See, TV, my Homestead, save. This is the banner in a full-size picture. So I've taken the mixing board as the big picture of the background. And I've taken the center part here and made it solid black in the middle and then semi-transparent to each end, so that no matter what size I cut this off on, it will not look too bad, I don't think, on whatever device they might be looking at it. But I wanted you to see this just to get some ideas on how you can create new banners and so forth on your channel, make them uniquely yours, come up with new ideas, and make people wonder, oh, I wonder how they did that, because they're not going to find this in the free makers online. They're not going to find this anywhere else. This is you can only do this kind of stuff if you do this custom yourself on your own computer at home, and it's not that hard to do. And I'm more than happy to help anybody create something like this. So if you have any interest in doing that, or if you run into a problem, something that you just need a little help getting over the hump or something, send an email to familyhomestead@gmail.com. I'm more than happy to get back with you. We'll set up a time or something where we can either discuss it on the phone. We can perhaps do a private Skype connection where we're back and forth and talking about it. And I can show you some different things one-on-one. And I'm more than happy to help do that. Yeah, Salvatore, that's exactly what this is. It's a big picture. And then I just took a solid background. I put the text on. All the text was done in an editor. I don't remember which editor I used. And I did mention to somebody that I would show that we could do this in Filmora as well. So let me do that. And then we'll call it an evening. Okay, so this is Filmora now, what I have up here, Filmora 9. I'm going to import this mailbox picture, just like I did with the other program. I'm going to drag it down to the timeline. And I'm going to go into titles. Well, I can see here already, it shows here that it is not a 16:9 because it's not filling up the screen. So I can come in and I can crop the image and make it fit. Sorry, I hit the wrong key here. I want it to be 16:9. We'll say okay. So now it fits perfectly. We're going to go into the titling area here, and let's grab something a little fancier for this one. Okay, so I'm into the editor here for the titles, and we're going to do the your title here. Oops. All right, your title here. I'm going to call this mail call. And we'll make this one I remember DS. Samson Farms. We're going to go ahead and get it roughly at the same angle as the lines on the box. We'll slide this up here. We'll kind of fit it to size. And I want it to stand out a little better. I could make it multicolor, but I think you all get the idea here. We'll make it something easy to read. Samson Farms, and we'll put a big border around it. And I think you get the idea. I mean, we could sit here and play with different color schemes all night. We could say, okay, I would do the same thing here. You'd always key it ahead just a little bit to where the image is up here the way that you would want it. And in here, there is a little camera icon. So we create a snapshot. Just take a picture of it. And it created a snapshot right here. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to delete it out of here. And I'm doing that because this allows me to edit this exact picture and not save it as something else. There's no reason I would have to do that. But so now I'll go look that snapshot up. And that's found in Documents. Wondershare Filmora 9, User Media, Snapshot, and it's right here. And I'm going to open that with my go-to editor, which is paint.net. I want to resize the image so that it is the proper size to be uploaded, and there it is. I just simply save this now, and I can upload this image. It's the right size. And it's ready to go. So
Nathan wants those.
What's that?
Nathan wants those.
Well, he does. Okay. All right. I'll email them to you here after a bit. So, is there any questions on anything that we did here tonight? Now, something else that I would like to do, if somebody has an interest, if you have a relatively short video, when I say relatively short, let's say no more than 10 minutes in length, and if you would like for me to kind of edit it and go through those steps with everybody on here. you have an interest in doing that, send me an email, tfamilyhomestead@gmail.com. If you have a Gmail account, you can actually send me the video because it'll put it into a Google Drive that I can download. If you don't have a Gmail account, there's other ways we can do it. You can upload it to YouTube and make it non-public and just send me the link, make it unlisted and send me the link and I can go grab it. And I can put my twist on editing it. I can show everybody how I would have done it. You could take the same video and you can edit it yourself and we can look at them side by side some Tuesday night. So it's a little bit after the hour started. We got a little bit of a late start with the grandkids here tonight, but if you like what you saw, tell some folks. I see we got 30 some in the stream here tonight. How do I do it? I'm watching. Zoom right over my bald head, and I'm tall. Nathan, you do have a little bit of height on you. Yeah, if you'd like me to put my spin on one of your videos, we did this once before. We did this with Grizz 270. Mm-hmm. It was his idea, but he sent me over an hour of video. It was like eight clips that totaled up over an hour in time, and I don't want to get involved in that. I mean, I don't want to do that again. It was fun. It was fun to do so, but I want to kind of limit it to a 10 to 12 minute raw footage that maybe we get down to a 4 or 5 minute video or something to that effect. And be fun to do, and we do that, and I give you the video back. You take it, do whatever you want with it. If you want to upload it, put it on your channel, that's fine. I need no credit for it whatsoever. It's simply just a learning thing for everybody here. That's all it's for. And I showed you tonight, using paint.net. I showed you using Filmora, and I showed you using Power Director. So a little bit on the banners, a little bit on thumbnails. Anything else, hon? Are we good? Yes, no? I guess we're good. Okay, everybody have a wonderful evening. Don't forget to stop by Thursday evening. We'll do some channel reviews. We'll do some playing with that. If anybody has an interest, we were actually shown on the vidIQ program today that our channel was reviewed, and so that was kind of interesting.
Little Acres Homestead is asking a question.
Which one?
Little Acres Homestead.
Do we have a video how to upload thumbnails once we get them edited? All right, let me do this. I'm gonna show you how to do it in the YouTube studio. Okay. So This is I'm going to do it in the beta here because that's what we're going to have to all be dealing with here before very long. It's going to be a must. So you go into your YouTube studio and if you just wanted to edit the title and description, you can do that right from this page by just clicking this little pencil. Or you could get the link, or you could share it, announce it. You can download the video, or you can delete it. But for the thumbnail, you click on the video. It goes into that video. If you notice, down here, there are there's a total of 4 thumbnails here. The 3 to the right are the ones that YouTube picked out of the raw video. And I could make any of those the primary thumbnail right now. So if I click this one and click save, it'll make this one the primary thumbnail. Or if I click this one and click save, it will. This one will be blank. So this is where I would have uploaded the video, the thumbnail. So now I have options because I already have a custom one up. I can say change. And it's going to take me onto my computer. And where am I at here? I must not have resized that one. Because that's in 1920 by 1080. Thought I had resized. Maybe I didn't save it. All right, hold on. Let me get it the right. Well, I'll show you here. Here's what happens if you don't have it the right size. We'll say change the thumbnail. We'll come down, and this is the one mail call that we just made tonight, but it's the wrong size. It's too big. File is bigger, so it won't let you do it. So let me change, and let's oh, well, this is my Tuesday Tech thumbnail that I did from earlier today. We'll say open. And right there it is. And when I click save, and what it's doing right now is it's uploading that. And now the changes are saved. So this is the new thumbnail for that video, as you can see right here. I know it's a little bit small for you folks at home here, but it has changed that thumbnail to say Tuesday Tech. So again, just to share with you guys, things you can do with your videos after the fact. You can always change the thumbnail without affecting anything. You can always change the thumbnail. You can always change the title. I can come in here and I can say, edit the title and description. And instead of saying hold this vid, I'm going to say do not release. Do not release yet. And we'll click save. So now I've changed that to do not release yet. If it were a live video down here, it wouldn't matter. I can change it. But that's how easy it is to change the thumbnails. Did that, I hope, answer your question. Simply go into your channel videos. If it's a live stream, the studio beta, you have to tell it if it's a regular upload or if it's a live stream.
Can you crop and can zoom in on a pic with Filmora. Thomas Schmidt is asking.
Yes. And we did that here already because I did zoom in on this. So the original picture, let's do this. New workspace. I don't want to save this as a project. New workspace. No, I don't want to save the changes. So the original picture was this one. This is Filmora 9 is what we are looking at here right now. If you notice the black edges on each side of this, those black edges represent the entire 16 by 9 format screen. I can take this picture and I can pull it down. You can see that it doesn't fit. So my choices are to make it fit is I can stretch it, there's a lot of different things I can do, but the easiest thing to do is, I'll say, with the picture highlighted, you come down to Tools, and, or is it Designer? I'm sorry. I do a right click. I'm just used to doing this. Right click, edit image, and crop image. Or no, I'm sorry, I'm in Power Director. I was going to say that isn't right. Here's Filmora. File, new project, 60 by 9 widescreen. No, don't save the changes. Go grab that file again. Here's the that picture. I know he's asking because he has Filmora. But again, the same thing. You can see the black bars down the side. Okay, so here I'll do a right click and I will go up to crop and zoom. Or I can go crop to fit. But well, let's try a crop to fit. That crop to fit just does it right away. Let's hit the back arrow. Can I? Doesn't even look like I can. That's interesting. I would have expected just being able to go back. So let me, we'll take it back out, bring the image back in, and we're going to do a right click. Maybe. Crop and zoom. In order to crop, the ratio shows here. It says here's the original ratio. If I want this to be a 16 by 9, go down and click this. It then shows all the little bars, where's cropped. So I can pick any part of this image. I can center it. I can have it primarily to the bottom of the picture, to the top of the picture, but it's going to show me where it's going to fill in. And then when I say OK, it has just cropped this image in to make it a full image. So that's how you do the crop in Filmora. And of course, you can distort and squeeze the image. There's all kinds of other things you can do with it. This is part of the fun part about the editors. We can set it so that it's facing up for airmail. So a lot of different things you can do. So Thomas, did that help you out? Marlin Music Channel, you are very welcome. I guess I'm not familiar with your channel. I have to check you out here. So, but I'm glad you stopped by. If you find it interesting, tell a friend. Bring them next week. We've been doing these for a couple of years now.
It helps a little.
Helps a little. Thomas, what do you need? Tell me what you want to do here, and we'll see if we can do it. Kiss My Grass, thank you for coming tonight. We certainly appreciate you being here.
Thomas, let's say that I did not want to see the post on the box.
Okay. So here's the original picture. And you don't want to see the post. A couple different ways we can do that. Number one, let's do this. Let's and motion. Okay, blending mode, opacity. Sound 3D last motion. Here we go. Okay, Thomas, what I'm looking for here, and I haven't found it yet, because frankly, I've not as fond of the 9 here as I am of the 8. So I'm looking for the mask feature. I would have thought it would have been right in here, but I'm not seeing it. Let's correction, drop shadow, auto enhance. Color correction duration, drop to fit. And the zoom, that's not it. Okay. Thomas, to be honest with you, I'm not sure where the masking feature is in Filmora 9. And it's going to take me a little bit to figure that out. Because I'm not familiar with it, let me show you a slightly different method. And to do that, we're going to go back to the picture by itself, which is located here. And we're going to open that back up with paint.net. And with paint.net, I am going to use in here what's called a magic wand. So what the magic wand does is it will, and I'm going pretty quick here, but I'm removing color from around the mailbox. a bigger brush here. And all I'm doing is, in removing the color and everything around the mailbox here, I'm making it transparent. And we're doing it real quick. We're not going to go for perfection here at this point.
Southern Bless gave us.
Southern Bless, thank you so much for your kind generosity there.
Heavenbound is asking where you're at now is a free site, right?
Where I'm at now, I'm on my computer. This is a free program. It is called paint.net. And this is a photo editing program that is 100% free. It will rival any photo editing program out there. It's been around for a long time. It is totally free. Let me back up. And of course, you can spend more time if you want to do this yourself. You can blow this up very big and be very, very detailed. I'm just trying to zoom through this just to show very quickly here. All right, so now I'm going to save this as, and to keep in mind, a JPEG does not support a transparency, so you're going to have to save it as a PNG file. So we'll call it mailbox PNG. We're going to drop it right down the same route. We'll say OK. Now, because everything around the mailbox is transparent, we'll go back into Filmora and into the media, and we're going to import that picture I just created. I'm going to bring it down here, and there we have that mailbox on a blue background. I could have it on a red background, whatever color I want. And then, of course, for titles, we can go in and grab pretty much whatever you might want to utilize. And this is where it wasn't real clean on the transparency. But again, things like that can be hidden with effects. change the color slightly. So hopefully that answers some of your questions. So Thomas, if that doesn't help you, send me an email. We'll get together with you here on a one-on-one thing, and we can kind of work something out here. So I know it's all late. Everybody's been very generous and kind in your words, and I appreciate all of it very, very much. So everyone have a great week. We'll see you Thursday night, and then again next Monday night. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.